Thank you for joining and welcome to our room selection information session. My name is Tanisha Russell. I use the she series for pronouns, and I am the graduate assistant for housing assignments and occupancy here in the Office of Residential Life. I am originally from New York City and came here to Boston for grad school. It wasn't too long ago that I also had to participate in housing selection at my undergraduate university. So I know that this process can sometimes be daunting and students will feel overwhelmed, but that is why we are here today to provide you with information that might alleviate some of the stress you're feeling. So, first things first is thinking it over. Whenever you are interested in living in a place for a complete year, you don't want to have to move out at any point because you didn't take into consideration all of your preferences in terms of where you want to live. So, do you want to be in a quiet space? Do you want to be somewhere where there's a lot of social life? Do you want suites or apartments? Do you want less people to be on your floor or more people to be on your floor? Make sure you're looking at the cost of housing. Not every single dorm and room type costs the same. And then don't listen to rumors. If someone says one particular type of dorm is terrible, you might find that you like the environment, landscaped aspect, and location of that dorm. So make sure you're doing all the research yourself. Don't listen to just hearsay and word of mouth. And have a backup plan. Have plan A, B, C, D, even F if you need it. Just make sure that if you do not get your first preferred plan, that you have ideas in mind in case you need to do something different. So we are going to go through the steps of the room selection process in this recorded session today. The first step is to attend an information session. So you can either attend a virtual Q&A, which will be held from the end of January to the end of February, or drop-in hours that will happen all throughout the month of February. If none of these times work for you, please let us know by stopping by either at the Residential Life office or emailing placement. Step 2 is filling out the individual application. So the application is currently open and live. So if you have not filled it out yet, please go ahead and do so by Friday, February 3rd. You can find your housing application through the Agora portal. Go to Other Services, My Res Life in Other Services, Applications, and then you should be able to see the 2023-2024 academic year application. Within it, make sure you're thoroughly reading through each page, updating your roommate profile if needed, completing a living and learning community application if you would like, making sure that you sign your residency agreement and indicate your housing intent. Housing intent is what allows us to know how many students would like to live on campus and how many students do not. So it is very important that you do not skip this step. If you feel that you're unsure of if you want to live on campus or not, still fill out the housing intent and say that you want to live on campus, because it would be easier for us to remove you from housing than it would be to add you on. If you have any questions about it, you can always email placement@bc.edu. If you are interested in an accommodation, you must go through the Office of Disability Services and register with them. We cannot give you accommodations in residential life if you do not get approved for them through disability services first. If you are approved for an accommodation, we can only provide that accommodation to you and not other people that you are living with. So keep that in mind. Step 3, investigate and plan. So after you kind of consider where you want to live, you want to go deeper into your search and look at floor plans, see the kind of room structure you're going to have, tour the different areas, go into a room and see, is this the size you want? Is this the kind of environment you see yourself living in? You can talk to your RAs and RDs because these are the individuals who have gotten a lot of experience with the different areas that you might be living in. Email placement. We are available to answer any questions. Look on YouTube. YouTube might be able to show you some information that you haven't seen or heard anywhere else. And again, Have a backup plan. We have this in here a lot because we want to make sure that you do so. If you would like to find a roommate, make sure that you're going through mutuals, or if you want to go through social media. If you do not want to go random and you would like to pick your own roommate, but you're unsure of how to go about doing that, you can go through mutuals, ask friends if they know someone, or you can utilize social media like Instagram and Facebook. There is supposed to be a Facebook group dedicated to individuals who would like to find a roommate. So you can check that out if you are interested. Living learning communities. So there are special communities on campus that you can join if you're interested in immersion. The first one is the Father Rutilio Grande Intercultural Experience. This is to promote diversity in all forms. It's open to sophomores interested in multiculturalism, social justice, diversity, and exploration of identity. You have to take a course when you are in this particular LLC, so please keep that in mind. And it is located in 90 St. Thomas More. The next community is the Healthy Living Community, which is dedicated to promoting wellness in an individual. And the Office of Health Promotion is also involved in this LLC. So if you're interested in living in a substance free, alcohol free, tobacco free, special housing area, this might be for you. It is available to sophomores and juniors, either in the Reservoir Apartments or Vanderslice. LLC specifics. If you would like to fill out an LLC application, please do so through the housing portal because there are a specific amount of allotted spots. Only qualified individuals will be chosen and they will be notified by February 24th of their acceptance. If you are selected, you will not participate in group process. So keep that in mind. And through this application, you can also state if you would like a roommate or not. Step 4. We will be introducing a new pilot this year where sophomores are able to room in pairs in 4 and 8 person suites in Walsh. They will not be permitted to change their room in the first 6 weeks of the semester, which is different from the 2-week room freeze that is designated for all other residents. But they will be able to select a room prior to housing selection. And this pilot is being created so that students can feel less pressure to form a group during room selection and get away from the need of having to be with all your friends or a larger group of individuals, and also broaden those with whom you interact with in your community. Group selection. So group selection will happen in the order of days based on the room type. And these are all the room types that we will go through for each day. Group selection begins Monday, March 13th and continues through Monday, March 27th. Each day is going to be different, like I stated in the previous slide, by room type and also group size. So you can see the timeline on our website that shows you which day will be dedicated to which room type. Please recognize that the group leader is going to be the person to make a lot of the decisions and do a lot of the processing while group selection is going on. So each member is going to give their Eagle ID to the group leader. The group leader is responsible for selecting housing for all group members. So the group leader is going to be the only person that logs in and registers everyone for the particular group. And you cannot be in multiple groups. So please choose one group and stick to it. For any particular room type, the group leader has to register the morning that room type day is happening. So, for example, if your group is interested in a 4-person suite, then the morning of 4-person suite day, your group leader is going to log in and register the group for that particular room type. Please keep in mind that groups must equal the number of bed spaces. So if you are all interested in that 4-person suite, then you must have 4 people. You cannot have 3, you cannot have 2, you must have 4. If your group is selected for a pick time, you will receive an email, and the group leader will then be responsible for selecting housing at that specific time. And they should not wait any later, because then you might lose the potential to get the type of housing that you want. If your group is not selected, you can then form a new group. So, for example, if you have 8 people and you don't get 8-person suite day, then you can split up into 4s or 4 groups of 2s in order to still be able to live with each other. You do not have to go for every room type on each day. If you do not want to, you can wait. Let's say if you want to do 8-person suite day on Monday, and then the next day that you're interested in is Wednesday, and that's 4-person suite day, you can wait until Wednesday. You do not have to go Monday, Tuesday, and then Wednesday. Make sure to check if you have any financial holes or conduct holes on your account, because then you will not be eligible to participate in room selection. Group selection day. So there is a timeline for how the day works. Starting at 10 a.m., the group leader creates and verifies the group. So they log into the housing application, add all the members, make sure you give them the correct Eagle ID. And then once the group is full, the group leader has to verify the group. Unverified groups will not be counted for. And this is going to go all the way until 1 p.m. and then it stops. Between 1 and 3, the group leader will get lottery numbers and pick times, and the group leader will then receive an email letting them know if their group was selected or not. Room selection will begin the next day for that particular room type. So, for example, if you get a pick time on Monday for 8-person suite day, then at 4 p.m. on the next day, you will select the space that you are interested in. The group leader will log in during the assigned pick time and pick the specific apartment, room, suite that everyone would like. This group leader is also going to assign each group member to the bedroom. So make sure you guys know who your direct roommates will be and which room they are going to go in. After that, the group leader will click save to finalize their selection. Groups are weighted based on class years, and each class has a different code. So juniors are 1, sophomores 2, first years are 3. So if a group of 4 first years get together to live with each other next year, that would mean the sum of their group is 12. And based on that number, you will go on the website and look at the breakdown of the eligibility categories. And once you find your sum, that will tell you which eligibility category you're in. The lower your collective number, the more preference you will get. So for first years, we'll have a sum of 12, but for juniors and seniors, we'll have a sum of 4. So they will get preference over the freshmen. Blocking. So blocking is very good for individuals who, like I was saying before, want an 8-man, but they did not get a pick time for 8-man day. Then they can put all of their members in 4 groups of 2, and you all can choose housing at the same time. You'd still have one group leader who chooses housing for everybody, but you guys would not live in the same suite. You may live in different rooms on the same floor, but you will be able to pick housing together. When you pick a primary roommate, make sure you stick with them. Do not resort to kicking other people out or rearranging individuals to pick a particular room type. You want to make sure everyone is accounted for, so choose a room type that will be most suitable for your group and group size. Step 4, if you do not do group selection, would be final selection. If you do not have a preference for who you live with and you do not want to join a group, you can get assigned randomly. You are able to state your top 3 room type preferences and are usually given a roommate whose profile matches with yours. Students participating in final selection will receive their assignment in June. If you are assigned a space and find that you do not like it or need to move off campus for any reason, you have the option to cancel your housing after receiving your assignment. You may do this by completing a housing cancellation form and can find it through your Agora portal, navigating to other services, MyResLife, Forms, which is located in the banner on top of your screen, and select the housing cancellation form. You have until May 31st to cancel your housing and receive a full refund. Whatever space you have been assigned to is the one you will move into. Students will only be able to change rooms after the 2-week room freeze at the beginning of the semester, and this must be done officially through ResLife. So if you don't like your space and a friend tells you that there is an empty space next to them, if you decide to move without telling anyone, we will still assume that space is empty and can be assigned to another student, which complicates things. So please make sure when you change rooms to utilize the official room change process. So, room designations. Residence halls are not class specific. Technically, any class year can live in any dorm except the mods because it's 21 plus. But the room selection process is how the various dorms become class specific. Cross grouping is allowed. So sophomores can live with juniors, juniors can live with seniors, and so on. Just make sure you all in the group understand how it impacts your eligibility category. So, so for each class year, these are the typical dorms that you would find students in. Sophomores are typically located in Walsh, 90 St. Thomas More, Vandy, Graycliff, 66, and on College Road. Juniors are seen in Stair, Vandy, 90 St. Thomas More, Stair, Graycliff, Reservoir Apartments, 66. And seniors are mostly located in the mods, Iggy, Ruby, Gabelli, Butte, Rubenstein, Ignacio, and so forth. Civility, respect, and integrity. When going through the process, make sure you are not trying to manipulate it or others in any way. Be respectful to everyone who is involved because you want this process to be as stress-free as possible. And some things to keep in mind. A lot of people are interested in 8-person suites. So someone might come up to you and say, oh my goodness, living in an 8-person suite next year would be amazing. And you agree because that is one of your closest friends. But if this is not the sort of environment that you see yourself in, then you should look elsewhere. Don't force yourself to live in a space just because others are living there. 20 to 25% of the sophomore class lives on College Road. So a lot of people are there. You will still meet people. You'll still have a social life. It is not that bad. A lot of people will complain about it, but College Road is a great place to stay. The only factor impacting selection and pick times is class year. The process is fair. So there is no weird algorithm or alphabetical order that is going to better your chances. Everything is random and it is done fairly. The process can be very stressful, but we are here to help. So, if you have any questions, make sure that you contact us via phone or email at placement@bc.edu. You can also go on the website and look at any information that you would like to know more about. Thank you for attending this information session. Hope you enjoyed.